All right, guys, welcome back to another video. And today we're here to talk about the Apple Vision Pro and the movie and media experience that you can have on this thing. There's a lot of things to talk about in this video. There is immersive video that Apple started doing on their Apple TV platform. There's 3D movies that we got to talk about. There's apps that I've experienced that literally blew me away on some of the best video form thing I've ever seen, especially with the creativity and everything that we're going to be talking about. And just the media watching experience. Is it actually social? Can you actually do it with other people? We're going to get into some of that stuff in this video to give you guys an idea on what the media and movie experience is like on the Apple Vision Pro as of today. So let's go ahead and get into the video.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech, going for a brekkie is the gaming tech, gaming tech is the gaming tech, gaming techie.
Alright guys, so here we are with the movie watching experience and the media watching experience I wanted to show you guys. So we're going to start off with Apple TV right here, which obviously comes pre-installed, and here it is right in front of me. And the first thing we're going to talk about here is the 2D content that's in here. So you can of course have your access to your whole entire library of all these 4K HDR movies that you may have purchased over the years. As you guys are looking at here, you have all the TV shows that Apple has and anything you've purchased. All your movies, all that kinds of stuff, all the 2D stuff that you would expect is kind of all here. And you also have access, of course, to Apple TV Plus as well. So you have everything that you can, watch, like Ted Lasso and stuff like that. Now, of course, I can't really show you, a movie playing because obviously it's copyright, but I will show you the experience so you guys get the idea. So this is obviously a black screen right now, and I'm going to go ahead and lower it, which is fine, but you can see that you can kind of manipulate this window if it wasn't black, and it would be playing right now because I'm recording, and kind of put this window anywhere you want it to be. And imagine having this window up with all different kinds of multitasking, like for example the Safari browser kind of sitting on the side, and you can kind of be in your pass-through environment just like this with Safari open on the right hand side and doing whatever you want to do, and opening up a bunch of different apps, basically anywhere you want, while you're manipulating through stuff, looking at your mail, looking at your notes, and having it on the right hand side. So it's cool to multitask and of course be able to watch a show like this if you want to. But even better so is that you can go into their immersive environments here, like the moon, for example, or the cinema. Now, like I said, this thing doesn't let me actually show you even if I paused it, the actual environment of being in the cinema. So you'll have to, go in there for yourself. But what's cool about the cinema, even though you can't see it right now because it's pitch darkness, is you can actually change your seat, go to the front, middle, and back, and go to the balcony or top floor so you can see the gigantic movie screen in front of you, which I wish I can show you. But, when you're watching movies or even when you have it paused, they just don't let you see it, and you can't go into the cinema without a movie actually playing. But the 2D experience on here is fantastic just because of the multitasking alone. But then on top of that, you can obviously use the environments that you're used to seeing when you're on the Apple Vision Pro, like you see me doing right here. So I could be watching this right now and watching whatever show I want, and also be on the moon. So I could be sitting here on the moon, enjoying the views and stuff like that, and being in whatever environment I want. And of course, you can be either in the dark moon or in the light room, and then it makes the screen gigantic in front of you while you're looking at, as you can see here, if you want to be fully immersed or if you just want it to be a window. If you're fully immersed like you saw, then you can't have any multitasking going on, and you'll have the full window with a gigantic screen. If you want to do it that way, or if you're just having a window open while you're on the moon, you could do it either way, and then you can multitask at the same time, which is cool. And again, you can use this with any of the environments, of course, that Apple has. So the environments that you're used to seeing on here, like Mount Hood and all that kind of stuff, you can kind of just switch right to it and then be here, doing the same thing. Again, you can either be looking at this 2D screen like this, or you can, of course, switch it from light to dark, so I can be in the dark mode as well. Now, the other thing we got to talk about is, of course, on Apple TV Plus is their immersive content, and this is something that cannot be missed. First of all, I want to talk about the demo reel that a lot of people aren't able to find on here, and it actually is on here. That demo reel that people are getting at the Apple Store, that you get to see like a sizzle reel of everything going on. You can actually find it on here. So basically, you tap search on the left hand side. Don't actually type anything in the search, just open it, and you'll see these tiles pop up in front of you. Then you hit only on Vision Pro, and then you'll get the immersive content, obviously. But if you scroll down a little bit, you'll actually see on this here where it says Apple Immersive Video here, if you scroll to the right, there it is right there. immersive. This is a 3D 180 video, and so are these that they're making right here. And these are the best things I've ever seen as far as quality goes. This will literally blow your mind. It looks so good. And even better so is the fact that like these are actual TV shows. So when you click on some of these, for example, like I saw the Prehistoric, this is not a one-shot deal. So you can see it's season 1, episode 1. So they're going to be coming out with new episodes, and I can't wait. Like I said, these look so good. They really, I've never seen, 3D 180 look as good as whatever they're using for cameras and stuff. And it really makes you feel like you're there. And this immersive one shows you the power of what sports may look like in the future. It's like a 3-minute sizzle reel, and this is what they show at the demo when you go to the Apple Store, and it's really good. Again, it doesn't let me record when I open any of these up, but definitely check these out. These are fantastic things to experience if you have Apple TV+. The next thing we got to talk about here is the Apple Vision Pro and its 3D content, because that's one of the main reasons why I was super excited about this thing when it first came out and got launched, and I'm super excited to, have this on here. And again, if you go to your library and you actually have 3D movies already from part of your library, they're getting upgraded for free. You can see the 3D movies I have, and you can play this in the exact same methods I said before. You can either play it in an immersive environment like I said here, or you can go into Apple's theater section as well and do it either way you want. And these this is the best 3D experience I've ever had on anything. And you guys know who follow me on this channel that I have an LG E6, which I purposely got and spent a lot of money on because I love 3D movies, and that was the best way to watch it because that was a 4K TV. But it doesn't match the fact that not only is this a 4K TV as well, but these are actually for the first time being in 4K, which you can't do on any other TV in existence or anything like that. So that already makes the quality better than my TV downstairs. But on top of that, it is also in HDR, and it's just an awesome experience, and the 3D depth is really good. And for those of you guys wondering, because there's been some confusion out there, I did a short on it. 3D content, you only get 3D movies upgraded for free if you actually purchase these movies from Apple TV or Apple themselves on iTunes. So if you got these from Movies Anywhere and you linked it on here, it's not going to be movies that are going to show up in this 3D section library. And there is a workaround for it. If you want to use the workaround, you're going to have to gift the movie to yourself. Now, this is not as easy as it used to be, because this was the same problem when they did 4K upgrades as well. So you're going to basically have to go into the way I did it is on my Windows computer, I downloaded iTunes 12.10.11, and on iTunes there you'll be able to actually download the search for the movie on that iTunes version, which is a version that's been is a couple of years old now, but it still had the gifting ability and it still works. And then you gift the movie to yourself, because obviously iTunes thinks you own it, because it is going to show up in your library as you own it, but it's not going to get a 3D version of it. So you have to basically repurchase the movie all over again by gifting it to you on that version of iTunes, and then redeem it on your account, and then it will show up. I did that for a few of my movies, and it worked just fine, like San Andreas and Ready Player One. I had to do that for, and Super Mario Bros. I had to redo that for as well. So keep that in mind if you guys are wondering why you don't have as many 3D movies in your library as you thought. It's because of that. If you purchase it outside of iTunes, they don't get the free upgrade. So here on Disney Plus, as you guys are looking at here, they also have a gigantic library of 3D movies, and I love that because it's obviously included in your subscription of Disney Plus, and I hope that they keep adding to this as time goes on, because they have a lot of good stuff that they could definitely put in here. I see that they've already added a couple of new ones that I don't remember being here before. Which is good to see. Pirates of the Caribbean, I don't remember ever being there on launch day. So it seemed, and they added the Marvels on here, which is awesome in 3D that they recently added. So it's good to see that they're continuing to expand the 3D area here and having more of your Disney movies on here. And I hope that that's something that they do going forward. But what really sells this is that they also created their own environment here, and they created Disney Plus Avengers Tower, Scare Floor, and Tatooine. And Avengers Tower just really blows your mind while you're in here. I mean, this just looks so good as you guys are looking at here, and the detail on this environment and everything around you is just amazing. The Iron Man, the hammer, and the Captain America shield, and everything around you just really sells this experience. But how awesome is it to be watching Marvel movies and be sitting on top of Avengers Tower, or if you can be in Disney's theater, or on Scare Floor if you want to be here in Monsters Inc., which is just super cool, or in Tatooine and literally be on a speeder while you're watching. And what's awesome about these experiences and what they did with these is the fact that, and again, I can't show you the movie, but I should be able to at least show you the idea, is if I'm sitting here in Avengers Tower and I click on Aladdin, for example, and I'm going to just pause it real quick when it starts. But you guys can see, obviously the movie's right in front of me on a gigantic screen, but the environment actually dimmed as soon as the movie started. So it has like that dark mode, just kind of like the Apple TV environments do. And this is just amazing. Look at the fact that they actually detailed and made like Iron Man like light up and the Hulkbuster and stuff like that. And the small lighting that's in the back and the cityscape is now lit up. It's just awesome. And this is one of the selling points that I love specifically about doing things like this, is the fact that I can be in these immersive environments and watching these movies. This is other things that other people need to lean into, and I hope Apple leans into it. Like if I'm watching a Ted Lasso show, put me in a Ted Lasso environment. It makes it much more fun to watch. And you know, whatever the case may be, when they have like big movies or big TV shows dropping from other companies, whether it's Disney or them, this is awesome because now when I have these environments, if I'm watching an Avengers movie, I'm going to be in here. If I'm watching Pixar, I'm going to be in Monsters, Inc. If I'm watching Star Wars movies, I'll be in Tatooine. And anything else Disney related, I'll be on the Disney theater. Disney did it awesome, and I hope that Apple and other ones do the same thing with their environments and create environments like that for their specific movies and shows, because it's an awesome experience to be able to do that. And again, if you're in pass-through, you can obviously bring up and multitask, just like I said you can do with the other ones, where you could bring up Safari, and if you're not watching it in the environments on Disney Plus that I showed you just now, you can still be in your pass-through and then multitask and everything, or be in one of Apple's immersive environments and still watching Disney Plus this way. So it depends on which way you want to watch it. You can watch it on a smaller screen like this, and then maximize the window, of course, if you want to, like this, and kind of make the screen bigger or smaller, but and then put it wherever you want and still be able to multitask and still watch 3D content, but it's just not in one of Disney's environments. So you have both options depending on what you want to do. Now, Max is another one that kind of does the same thing, where they actually created their own environment, and they created an Iron Throne room, so Game of Thrones type room, which is obviously super cool. And you can see as I loaded in here that you can kind of see that here you have the Iron Throne room right here, which is really cool. I don't think this room is as detailed as the Disney rooms that I just showed you. I think Disney did a better job as far as like really making you feel like you're in here. But this is still a really cool room, and this is something that other companies need to lean into for their shows, like I talked about. And it's still super cool to have in here. And I'd rather be in this environment watching Game of Thrones than not being in this environment. So kudos to HBO for also having this ready for launch, and hopefully they expand this going forward. IMAX is another app on here that really makes you feel like you're in the environment as well, because it really puts you in here into an actual giant IMAX theater. If you click on one of these, for example, and you watch one of these are actually presented in their true original IMAX form. Another really cool app to watch movies on here through the IMAX platform with the 3 documentaries that they currently have on here. Now, we don't have a YouTube application, we all know, but we do have Juno, which is from the developer who created Apollo from Reddit back in the day that we all know. And you could use this to watch YouTube, again, with the multitasking all around you and stuff. It works pretty well. I'd definitely rather use this than use the Safari browser. There are some things that are limited about it, like you can't, set the resolution and stuff like that. While you're watching a video, it just auto goes to the resolution. Luckily for me, it seems like it's always going to the highest resolution anyway, which is what I would have done, so it's not the hugest deal. There are a couple of bugs in here, but I definitely still recommend this app a lot. This is much better using this than using the web browser. It pulls up your YouTube, you can sign in, see, you can look at the left-hand side and kind of see your watch list and stuff like that, which is cool, and, what's hot, and, what's trending, and then who you're subscribed to, and see your videos, and then go to your home, all that kinds of stuff that are here, which is awesome. So Juno is obviously a great thing to have, on the Apple Vision Pro, and kudos to the developer for getting this out so quickly that we have a native YouTube application. Now, I did want to mention also, even though it's not something I can really easily show you, is that you can be in this immersive environment, again, like usual, while watching these applications. But one of the things that I love about movies and stuff like that in VR is the fact that these are usually done socially. Now, obviously, the Vision Pro, at least right now, is very to yourself. You're just watching a lot of this stuff solo. It's not like you have, like the Quest, if you guys are familiar, has like big screen and stuff like that, where you can be in 20-person rooms and kind of be watching with randoms. But if you have family members or friends that you personally know, you could technically, use SharePlay, if you guys are familiar with SharePlay. And for apps that support it, like Apple TV or Disney Plus and stuff, you can all be on SharePlay on a FaceTime call, and you can have all the FaceTime calls kind of surrounding you in these virtual environments, watching the movie together, and you'll be at the same exact position, watching the movies together, all on FaceTime, talking to each other. So obviously that's a lot more social, and it doesn't have to be, by yourself, but I would still rather see Apple expand it to not just be FaceTime calls, but if you actually have Vision Pros, to maybe all have your personas kind of sitting on a couch or something like that, or in a room or an environment, so you all feel present with each other more than just a regular FaceTime call. Or if you're not going to do that and go that step further, at least let us do it with randoms. I don't know if Apple would ever do that, but maybe third-party apps will do it. I love going into big screen and watching sporting events with people all over the world who are hosting different rooms and stuff like that. So if you can go on Apple TV Plus and host a room, and if everyone's subscribed to Apple TV Plus in that room, they can all watch the content together. Same thing with Disney Plus, and all be in the same room, joining randoms and exploring that stuff would be super awesome. And I hope that that's something that sports and games and other people decide to do, so we can watch all this content together in a brand new way socially with other people, because that's one of the best things about VR in my opinion. Now, the last app I want to show you is AmazeVR. I actually did a dedicated video to this, and this is just amazing. You guys definitely need to check this application out. This is a immersive VR concert. You can see that these are the artists that they've done so far, T-Pain and stuff like that, and these are the guys coming soon that they're going to be working with. But this is easily the best VR concert I've ever seen quality-wise ever, and this really makes me excited for the future of VR concert. It is presented in the way that they're capturing it is just amazing. The way that they're doing these concerts, you really feel like you're in there. It's 180 3D, but the resolution is insane. It's really, really good. It's like one of the Apple immersive videos that I talked about. It's that kind of quality, but just being in a VR concert. But the creativity is also really good. The fact that you can, it brings you through different environments and stuff, something you obviously couldn't do in real life. And they feel like they're right here in front of you is just amazing. And you can actually try a song for free right here for each of them, so you can kind of see exactly what I'm talking about for free. And then the full-on concert, if you want to purchase it, is $12.99, which in my opinion was fully worth it. I bought T-Pain because that's the artist that I knew, and being there with him, it felt amazing. The resolution and stuff on the Apple Vision Pro really lends itself for this app to be amazing to look at. And again, it really sold me on VR concerts, and I can't wait to see what artists they come out with next. And I can't wait to see more of these, and the 3D capturing that they're doing and stuff like that with this stuff is amazing, and I think it will blow a lot of you guys away. And again, I did a separate video on this app just because of how much I actually like it.
All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that video there that we just saw and gave you a glimpse into what the future of the media can do on this thing. And we're just getting started. Obviously, Apple has the rights to like MLB and the MLS and stuff. Imagine the sporting events that we're going to be able to be watching in these applications, where you're going to be able to not only see things in multi-view like you could in the NBA app, but actually sit courtside. And we obviously have gotten some of those ideas already on the MetaQuest platform, but if it's going to be in the resolution and the cameras that Apple were using in their immersive videos, and we bring that to the NBA, and if you guys have seen that sizzle reel of the demo of how good that soccer game looked and the MLB game looked, that's better than any of the stuff that I've seen, on the Quest platform, for example, because of the cameras that Apple is using, and of course the high resolution, but mostly it's the cameras that Apple is using to create these videos. They look outstanding in the headset, and it makes me excited to see sporting events and all that stuff and concerts going forward. Speaking of concerts, AmazeVR is doing fantastic work. I can't believe how long it took me to find this app. This is an app that's actually on the Quest as well, and I don't know why I never heard of it. I never experienced it, and I found it on the Apple Vision Pro, and the quality of this thing is amazing. What they do in this app is outstanding. All I can hope for is that they keep getting more artists and popular artists on this thing, because I'm going to keep buying all their concerts because it's that much fun to watch. It gives me a different experience that I can't have anywhere else. You really feel like you're up close and watching this concert live, and the creativity that they have with every artist getting their own different environment and stuff. The T-Pain one where you're kind of going in outer space and it brings you to different environments and stuff. Super, super cool and immersive stuff. One of the best things I've seen in VR to date, and I'm mad at myself for waiting this long to try this app out because I'd never heard of it before, and I don't know how it missed my radar, and I actually made a separate video on that app because of how excited I was about it, because it's super cool, and I hope to get the attention that they deserve to get more and more artists on here. Luckily, T-Pain was one of my favorite artists. It was awesome to be able to relive some of his songs on here. But yeah, the sporting events, the concerts, the immersive videos that we just talked about with Apple that's doing on here, even the apps like NBA that are going to have multi-view so you can watch these sporting events and have like 5 different games going on at the same time. The 3D movies, best 3D movie experience I've ever had on anything. And you guys know I have an LG E6 downstairs. With all my Blu-ray 3Ds, but the fact that these 3D movies are in 4K HDR for the very first time, at their full resolution, at their full capacity, and you're seeing it on a 200-inch screen in front of you in these immersive environments like in Disney Plus with Marvel and being on Avengers Tower or Star Wars and Tatooine. I love that stuff on here, and I think that that's something that Meta is definitely missing. Not only do they have no way of purchasing 3D movies like you can on the Vision Pro, but it's also just the fact that Apple and Disney and stuff are creating these immersive environments, and I hope that they keep leaning into that, and other app developers do too. And I hope Apple leans into it when they come out with like an Apple TV show or whatever, that they create environments that make you feel like you're actually watching that show in the environment of that show. That's super immersive, and it makes me want to watch the content in here. Why would I want to watch a Marvel movie just in a plain old like in pass-through mode when I can be in Avengers Tower and just feel like I'm there and watching the movie on a giant screen? It's just amazing stuff what we have, and we're literally at day 1. Stuff is only going to get better from here on out, and obviously I'll keep you guys updated as this progresses, you know, in the coming months, depending on how the movie experience changes and what Apple releases, what third-party developers are releasing, because we're just getting started with that stuff. And again, super excited to see what comes next on the Apple Vision Pro when it comes to the movie experience. But the 3D movies are amazing, and it's the best I've ever seen. The resolution is fantastic on here, and watching 2D stuff is also bar none amazing. It's going to be a lot better than most of the people's TVs in their house with how good this stuff looks. And that's not even talking about the fact that I could watch all these 2D things or 3D movies if I'm not in the immersive environments, just with a bunch of different windows open and doing a bunch of different things in multitasking form. So all of it is just super cool. I'm really excited about the future of this thing and spatial computing in general now that I really wasn't before. And the movie experience is definitely the #1 thing I love. Not just movies, but just videos in general, and content and media watching on here is just outstanding. The only thing that they can improve is literally the social experience of it, like we talked about, you know, throughout the video. Of how that actually works, where I want to be able to have avatars next to me and you know, have people around me like other apps have done on other platforms, and you know, be involved with other avatars or personas, I guess we got to call them on here, and you know, be more immersed that way because we're all together in the same room. And I want to be able to join randoms to watch movies and stuff like that, and not just make FaceTime calls with people I know. But we'll see how that progresses. I'm sure apps will come on here from third party and do their thing, so we'll see how that goes. But that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you guys got a lot out of it. If you guys have any questions, as always, leave it down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Till next time.